Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Wake Up with Baseball. We're doing the 420 edition for the games yesterday. 14 games completed. We had one game that went to the 8th and was suspended, but I'll jump into that as well. We're going to do what I did yesterday with the injury report and all that. So we're going to get right into it. But before we do that, please scroll down there, hit that like button, hit that subscription button. It really helps out the channel. I'm trying to grow it up, so everything you guys will do will help me out. First game of the day, Dodgers 1, Mariners 0. This one was a matinee in the afternoon. Dodgers bounced back from the longest losing streak of the season, and with a small, tight win here, 1-0. Mariners continue to have pretty good pitching all season long so far, so that's pretty exciting. Urias for the Dodgers, 7 innings pitched, 11 Ks. Really shut them down. And then Marco Gonzalez, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. Very good for what it's like facing the Dodgers. However, not enough. No run support. We'll get the loss. Overall, this game, 3 hits. Very, very low scoring game. Not too much else to really go on. Moving on to the next one, we have 18 hits, so a lot different than the other one. White Sox 8, Indians 5. This one could have been even crazier. The Indians had a lot of chances with the bases loaded. This is Carlos Rondon's first start since pitching that no-hitter. 1 away from that perfect game, right? He's facing the exact same Indians lineup as last time. No changes at all. But the White Sox, in this case, they really got out and they were hitting the ball hard. Tim Anderson, 3rd home run of the season. Abreu hits 2 home runs in this game. He's up to 4 now on the season, and he continues to smash. Grandal hits his 2nd of the season. 3 hits for Abreu, 3 RBIs. His average is still not the greatest, but he's starting to turn it on. It looks like he looks confident at the plate and everything like that. Luplow hits his 5th of the season, which for him, I think it's probably one of his hottest starts ever. He's batting top of this lineup. Going back down to Carlos Rondon, he's now 3-0, 5 innings pitched this time. He had 5 walks in this one, but 8 Ks. Plesac on the other side, 6 earned runs, and by far the most struggling Indians pitcher this season so far. 1-3. He's at 6.75 ERA. And the Indians are 8-8, and they're both 500, but the White Sox, you can definitely see their offense is starting to heat up in a dangerous way for this division. Athletics 7, Twins 0. This game, this was the doubleheader of the day, and the A's won both, and they shut out the Twins on both. Pretty nuts. Home runs in this one. 2 for Moreland off Shoemaker, and then we have Olsen, who hits his 4th of the season as well. He was a grand slam. So the A's, they're back. 10-7 now. Does anyone remember when they were 1-6? Wow, feels like forever ago because they just keep on winning. Sean Manaea pitches a complete game in this one. 7 innings, 7 Ks. It's crazy how it seems like in these short inning games, a lot of the time there's a pitcher that does the whole game. Shoemaker, 3.1, 5 earned runs. It's not a good start for him so far. And the Twins really need these guys to start getting them some offense going because in the second game they lost 1-0. Very close, no home runs or anything like that. Olsen again with a hit, Brown with a couple hits. Then on the Twins side, just a lot of issues. Like Buxton strikes out 3 times in this game in his 3 at-bats, and Luzardo. There's only 2 hits for the Twins. So Luzardo went 5.1, 6 Ks. Barrios on the other side was the starter. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and not enough. Twins aren't getting the offense. They've really slowed down. It's got to be somewhat concerned now. They're 6-10. A little bit of a concern for sure. Moving on, we got Yankees 3, Braves 1. This is, to me, it's a battle of the 2 teams that are underperforming so far this season. And honestly, I kind of have them both in the same boat where starters haven't been performing, but I guess you have to say they did today because the score was 3-1 overall. Urshela for the Yankees hits a home run off Morton. And on the other side, no home runs. So they're really missing Ozuna because that guy's just a staple at the top of their lineup. Freddie Freeman still kind of slow start here. Ozuna, all the core part of the Braves lineup here, still really struggling with the offense going. Even though they still get going on some days, they're struggling to get it on a consistent basis. On the Yankee side, same kind of thing. Stanton, again, no hits today. Judge only one. Like LeMahieu, we know him. He always has a high average. So Jameson Taillon gets the start in this one, but he doesn't get the win. So he's only 1 earned run, 5 Ks, and Morton on the other side, 1 earned run over 6. This one goes to the bullpens, and that's what the difference is. The Yankees have that 1 inning, bottom of the 8th, where they put up a couple, and they walk out with the win here. So Yankees needed it. Braves, on the other hand, they needed it too, but they didn't get it. Orioles 7, Marlins 5. I didn't really watch too much of this one. Cedric Mullins is in there. Trey Mancini hits his 4th of the season. Freddie Galvis hits his 3rd. No home runs for the Marlins. It's just all generated runs, which we're kind of getting used to. Matt Harvey, first win of the season. He goes 5 innings, gives up 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, so just a pretty average start at best. Neither on the other side, 3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, so the offense was really popping off here for the Baltimore Orioles. A bunch of guys with a couple hits. But yeah, like I said, I didn't watch too much of this. Harvey's first win, he's feeling that good. Got to be happy with Trey Mancini's back. He's hitting a home run. It's that kind of thing. It's going good. Next up, we got Nationals 3, Cardinals 2. It was a late inning win here for the Nationals. Really big bounce back. The Cardinals just can't seem to get the win streak going at all. They win 1, they lose 1, lose 2, win 2. Like now they're below 500 in this Central Division. It's going to be such a tight race. They need to try and pick up these wins where necessary. They had a lead going into the 7th here. And then in the 8th, they blew it. So what can you do? No home runs for them. Josh Bell does hit his 1st of the season for the Nationals. And yeah, Trey Turner continues to be probably one of the best players on the team. Without Juan Soto, they're really popping off. Wainwright, his best start of the season by far. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 10 Ks. And Corbin on the other side looked a little struggling. Looked like he was going to struggle with runs and bases getting full early in this game, but he goes and gets no earned runs, 5 Ks over 6. And his ERA comes down. Hooray! He's still above 10 though. So a long way to go. Brad Hand comes in, gets the save for these Nationals, and they got to be pumped. Working their way back up to 500. Will they get there? I actually think they have a chance. I actually do. Another late comeback game here. Giants 10, Phillies 7. Was just giving the Giants some hard times yesterday, if you're watching, by their offense. Sure enough, in the 8th inning, they come through with a Giants 6 spot. Upset these Phillies who I said their bullpen had come around and their pitching was doing all right and they're high up in the power rankings. Now they're below 500 and it really, I don't know where the issues really are. Like one day it'll be hitting not coming through and now today's pitching not coming through. So Buster Posey, big game for him, 3 hits. Overall, he hits 2 home runs as well. Pretty crazy. La Stella hits his home run of the season. Alex Dickerson, home run, his 3rd of the season. Flores, a home run, his 1st of the season. Brad Miller for the Phillies, Baum, Hoskins. So there was a lot of home runs. This was a mini home run derby if you were watching this one. Zach Wheeler goes 5.2, 4 earned runs. So ever since that very first start of the season, Wheeler's kind of come back down to earth a little bit, not being as clutch as they need him to be. Logan Webb, 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. So nothing crazy. This one's a bullpen game, and as we see here, Brogdon, he's 3-1, so it's really his toughest one yet. But 6 earned runs for that poor man blows this game for the Phillies in the hardest of ways because they were up like 7-4 or something at that point. At one point, they were up 7-3, so big blow, and it hurts. The Phillies, they want to be winning those games for sure. Next up, Red Sox 4, Blue Jays 2. They're in a little 2-game series here, and the Blue Jays still have a lot of injuries to dealing with. I think, 8 pitchers right now or something high. It's very high. 8 pitchers on injury. Boston is just rolling this season. Very good. Rodriguez goes to 3-0. This one had a couple home runs in it with Bo Bichette hitting his 5th of the season. Grichuk hits his 2nd. And then on the other side, Bogarts hits his 1st of the season. They've been waiting for it. And it was a bomb off Ryu. Really is the big one. It was a 3-run shot. And that's really what made the difference in this game. Bo Sox had one inning, a 4th inning where they put up 4. And then Jays hit a couple solo home runs. And then that was the ball game. Rodriguez went 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. 3-0 now on the season for that guy. 5 innings pitched for Ryu, 4 earned runs. Brings his ERA up a little bit. He gave up a little bit of hits, but no walks here. And that's it. Jays need to get their pitchers back, that's for sure. Cubs 3, Mets 1. This one was tight. Came down into the 9th inning. Keg Grimble got the bases loaded before striking out and then getting an out. Jay Davis, first home run of the season. No home runs for the Cubs, so they're generating. Their offense is coming up a little bit, although there's only 4 hits in this one for them. It's enough to get it done. Some timely hitting, I guess you could say. Sogard with a couple hits for him. They still have most of their team is below 250. You could say their entire team is below 275. On the other side, the Mets are kind of in the same situation. However, they do have Nemo, who's been good. He went over 5 today, 3 Ks. Not good, but overall he's been all right. Taijuan Walker gets his first loss of the season, his first decision of the season. 2 earned runs, 7 Ks. Arrieta, he's probably been one of the best highlights of the Cubs season so far. 3-1, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run. So he's been monster for them. And then Craig Kimbrell comes in for his 4th save of the season. It wasn't easy. It was close, but they got out of there with the win. Next up, Rays 14, Royals 7, and this one was a lot of offense. 17 hits for the Rays. They really pounded the ball. They're like, Alex, what are you doing having us solo in the power rankings? You gave us credit for our pitching. You said our offense was the problem. Here you go. So going forward, I got to start giving credit to the AL champs, right? Lowe hits his 2nd of the season. Zunino hits his 3rd. Meadows hits his 4th. And then Santana hits his 3rd for the Royals. They had even more chances. They could have put up more runs. There's a lot of bases loaded left on base here. Like if we look at 11 left on base. But then you got Tampa Bay. Still had 23 left on base, which is absolutely crazy. 14 runs, 17 hits. Nuts. How many walks here we got for them? 6 walks. No, not too bad. Rich Hill, 2 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. So he did not get out of there. And then you got Keller on the other side, 1.2, 5 earned runs. Like both these starters, not getting out there. Kittredge comes in for Tampa Bay for that 1 inning and gets his 3rd win of the season. So as you know it, the Tampa Bay bullpen and all that really can pitch a whole game if they have to. And they did in this case, and they got the win. Very good game for them. Tampa Bay popping off, being a threat. Rockies 6, Astros 2. We had Bregman finally come back off the COVID list for the Astros. Still waiting on Altuve. Still waiting on Alvarez or whatever that guy's name is. I'm going to get it wrong, so I'm not going to try. But the Rockies, they win. And John Gray is probably having what's potentially his best season I've seen in a while. 6.2, 1 earned run here. Garcia for the Stros get the loss. Nunez, 4th home run of the season. CJ Cron hits his 1st of the season for the Rockies. I know they've been waiting. This game was crazy. I think they were saying there was 20 degrees there at the time while they were playing. Super cold. Ball was not flying at all. But still, it's in Coors. And they put up 8 runs. But yeah, that's it. Rockies win. Angels 6, Rangers 2. This is Ohtani finally making his 2nd game of the season. He only goes 4 because he had a pitch count, so he's not in line for the win. But they were winning when he left, 2-0. Solak hits his 4th of the season for the Rangers. Trout hits his 5th. Pujols hits his 2nd. Suzuki hits his 1st. So 3 home runs across the board for the Angels. And that was a lot of their offense in this game. It was pretty great to watch. Ohtani, 4 innings pitched. He had 7 Ks, but 6 walks. So that's somewhat of a concern, having 6 walks from this guy. But he was pitching on a gem, really. The first inning, he got into a little bit of trouble, but other than that, it got the job done. 6 innings pitched, 5 Ks, 3 earned runs for Lyles. On the other side, moving on, we got Brewers 6, Padres 0, and I guess I really have to start giving the Brewers credit because their pitching is unbelievable. I'm just going to jump down to it right now. Burns went 6 innings pitched, 10 Ks, and he set the MLB record for consecutive strikeouts to start a season at 40 without issuing a walk. So that record's still going to be higher. Before this, it was Adam Wainwright who had set 35. So he's 5 above that, and he still hasn't walked someone. So we could see it grow even more. Corbin Burns is a monster. Paddock on the other side, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, but he gave up 5 runs, but only 1 of them earned. Paddock just 7 Ks. He's been kind of looks like the struggling pitcher, but he's still been pretty good for that. But I guess in the end, an error is the biggest difference in that 5 spot for Milwaukee. And yeah. McKinney hits his second home run of the season. Peterson hits one in the 9th. And then the Padres get shut out. Tatis, it looks like he got the day off. He got a 1 pinch hit, and he came in and he got a hit. So he did get a hit, and they brought him in. But yeah, and then the last game, they don't even show it up at the top here, but we have a game. It's right here. Arizona 5, Cincinnati 4. Right now, bases loaded. They had to suspend. I guess it was due to inclement weather. So they're going to play those last 2 innings at some point, maybe today. I didn't look into that, so I don't know. And then we also had a postponement due to weather last night for the Pirates and the Detroit Tigers, which I know most people wouldn't be excited about that series, but I know I am because it's like the bottom. It's the bottom fighting the bottom, and someone has to win. So it has big power ranking implications, so that definitely gets me excited. All right, lastly, we're going to jump into... How do we get that? We're going to jump into... I'm going to try to... Okay. We're going to jump into the injury report. New section here. Mostly it's Mookie Betts that we want to talk about. He got hit by the ball, missed yesterday's game, but the x-rays come back negative, so that's a good sign. They expect him to be back some point. So like the Dodgers are dealing with some injuries. Bellinger, we know, has a fracture. He's been out for a little while. They don't have no timetable yet. Gavin Lux for them, also out with wrist soreness. He's be eligible to come back early next week, but again, they're not setting a date yet. Juan Soto, he's on the 10-day injured reserve list with the left shoulder sprain. Acuna, his MRI came back as mild, so he's expected to avoid the injury list, which is awesome for them. We talked about this with Marte yesterday, his displaced rib fracture. No baseball activity for 5 to 7 days, so it'll be reevaluated in about a week. Lamet is getting his strength up, and he's going to make his debut Wednesday. So that's today. We're going to see Lamet make his debut. Segura, he left the game yesterday for the Phillies against the Giants with a strain. He's going to be reevaluated, so maybe we'll get an update on that. Santander also left the game for the Orioles. The White Sox put Lance Lynn on the 10-day injured reserve list. He's been killing it too, which sucks. George Springer, they're still expecting him to be back soon. They don't have an exact date yet, but he's still back. He didn't go on the team's road trip, anything like that. And then Brian Hayes, manager on the radio, says Hayes is expected to join an alternate site in Toledo. So that's a big thing. It will be his first live game action for the rookie since he suffered the wrist injury on the 3rd. So he's going to be coming back real soon. And yeah, the Pirates could really use that little extra offense, right? But yeah, thanks for watching. Wake Up with Baseball. I'm sure we ripped through all that real quick. But thanks for watching. We'll see you for the next video.